Hello, welcome to the Crafty Casa. If you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and leave me a comment down below to know that you are new and you enjoy these videos. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys how we created this beautiful gray washed rustic entry table. Well, actually my husband made it. I was just watching him. But we are absolutely in love with this table. We've been wanting to make it for a while and we just really hadn't had the chance to actually do it, but here are the materials for you guys. Alright, so he will start cutting 2 pieces 5 feet long of the 2 by 6 by 8. And this is going to be for the top part of the table, which is the longest portion of the table. Okay, just make sure it's nice and even. And then he's going to go ahead and cut 4 3 feet long pieces of the 2 by 4 by 8. And this is going to create our legs for the table. So it was only 3 feet tall. And for now, you will also need 4 8-inch pieces, which are going to be the support for the top part and the bottom part, and actually kind of hold the legs together. He's just kind of making sure it's all even and it's going to fit on both sides. And by the way, this is the very first time my husband's making one of these tables, and I'm so proud of him. He did such a wonderful job, and I couldn't be happier with this. So, love the hubby. He is awesome. So he is just taking measurements here. He's making sure that the legs are going to fit on both sides without, sticking out of the table. So that's what he's doing right now, just making sure that it's going to sit flush when the legs are attached. And then here are he's just attaching the 8-inch pieces to hold the top part together. And this is what you should end up with. And now he is going to be attaching the other 8-inch piece to the 2 legs. So he's just measuring the distance from the floor to the very first layer, I guess, of the table, and I think he did like 6 inches from the floor. So that's really pretty optional. Just do whatever suits your preference. He's gonna go ahead and screw those on to both legs, and this is what it looks like now. So now you should have your legs and the top part of the table at this point, and he just kind of laid the top of the table over the 2 legs, just to make sure it's, even and it's not crooked or anything like that. And then he's just simply going to attach it with the screws onto that little piece that is holding the top together. So it's like a little anchor, I guess you could say. Okay, so now he's going to be cutting 4 pieces of about 4 feet 2 inches long of the 2 by 4 by 8, and this is actually going to create the bottom portion of the table and the front part of the top of the table, if that makes sense. So it's going to be 3 pieces for the bottom of the table, and then 1 piece is going to go on the front portion of the top part. And now he has put the 3 pieces side by side, and he is attaching them again with an 8-inch piece of wood, and this is what it should look like. And now he's just laying that once he flipped the table upside down, he's going to screw that onto that little anchor piece, I guess, in between the legs with that extra piece of wood that he attached to the bottom 3 pieces. And the wood did crack on us a couple of times, which we got a little frustrated, but it worked. I mean, it was the underneath part of the table, so we really didn't worry too much about it. and then he attached the front part of the top part, if that makes sense. Then he's gonna go ahead and take the angles for our side portion of the table, which we were actually gonna create like an X shape on it, but it was too narrow, and I was like, you know what, I think if we just do a diagonal piece of wood, it's gonna look pretty. And that's how we came up with that. And he's just drawing on the angle into the wood, and then he just cut two diagonal pieces of wood, I guess you could say. And I think let's see, what was the measurement for those? Oh, here it is. So it was 2 feet 3 inches long. And this is actually the finished product of the table with no stain on it. Actually, you could probably leave it as it is. I wouldn't mind it, but we had bought the stain already, and I had always wanted a gray stained table, so he gave the entire table a quick sand, and then we went ahead and we stained it with this stain. I actually loved the stain. He used this stain spray machine that he bought, spray gun. We weren't too big of a fan of it, but it did make everything easier. So he just pretty much covered the entire table with the stain. And we hadn't really stained many things before this time, so it was kind of like a trial and error thing. We wiped it off too soon, and the stain didn't stick because we didn't read directions, obviously. But if you read directions, you're supposed to let it sit there and then wipe it off. So then after, I think we left it on about 15 minutes, and then we just lightly wiped the excess off, and it was the perfect timing. I think if you let it sit longer, it'll get a little bit darker, but we loved the way it turned out. We waited overnight to actually bring it indoors to let the stain absorb even better. But then these brackets are actually pretty optional. My husband didn't want them on, but that was the original plan, and I really wanted them on there because I just feel like it gave it more of an industrial farmhouse look. So he did end up attaching them to the corners. So we got a bag of 4 pieces, and I couldn't be happier. I mean, you could actually paint those brackets brown or some other rustic color, but I like the way the silver ones looked. And this is how I decorated it for now. I always tend to move things around, so it's probably going to change pretty soon. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We enjoyed making it for you guys. As always, don't forget to share it, subscribe, invite your friends over here, and I will see you guys next time. Love you. Bye-bye.